Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with the 50th three-point game of his career. Zary launches one toward the other net. Skinner misplayed it and had it poked in by Blake Coleman in this game.
Put him right into the linesman. Holmstrom able to fight through some stick work. Weaves around Mantha. They score! Max Shabanov in his first NHL game.
His group is the structure, the speed, and the forwards up front. You gotta get the puck in their hand.
Johansson got it to Hartman, and he scores! Kaprizov fanned on it. It was then blocked into the corner. Rossi got it back. Kaprizov out front to Boldy, and he scores!
What do we got to do to get one? The Wild go down the other zone, draw a penalty.
Off the post, rebound, they score! Eriksson Ek by Binnington. Trenyon down low, Hartman scores! Second of the night.
Sidesteps a couple of checks, got grabbed a bit, he's got the puck, tried to play it to the middle, but that was knocked down. Comes back to Bobby Brink, and he'll move in for the shot, score! A seed from Bobby Brink.
His shot blocked, got it back, and the next shot comes to Kaprizov. He fires, saved by Merzlikins. Eriksson Ek, Boldy scores! Feeds Boldy. Boldy with it. Now it's a 5-on-4. Kaprizov scores! Tied up by Kaprizov in the corner. William rips it across. Rossi scores! Tipped by Kaprizov on the way.
Oh my, Flyers that close to a 2-goal lead. They're right back at it here. Cates the shot. He missed the net. Rebound Break. He hammers it home.
Spurgeon looks into the slot. Johansson shot blocked. Spurgeon got it back. He fires. Scores! Kaprizov circles back to the slot. Looking, fires. Scores! Tarasenko goes cross ice with it. Boldy moves down low. Boldy walks out front. He scores!
Angles that one to the corner. Charges into Carlo. A couple of big frames there. Open is Shea. He takes a look. Into the traffic. Score! Brady Shea put it on net. McCarron was in the neighborhood, and he taps it home.
Wins the puck against Korzak. Now Coleman shoots, scores!
38 seconds remaining. Booyam out high. All kinds of time here on the power play. Booyam on the turn. Still with it. Score! Boldy in front. And the Wild are on. Kaprizov. Kaprizov down low through the wickets. The crowd interjects its thoughts on the call. Booyam off to Kaprizov. A shot. Score!
40 seconds left. Quinn Hughes. There goes to Smith to the bench. Hughes to the empty net. Scores! Quinn Hughes has his first of the year.
Angles it off the end boards. And here's Max Shabanov back onto the ice. He turns, shoots, and scores!
Well, you got a big Boston connection there. Sullivan's two assistant coaches are Dave Quinn, who coached here before, and Joe Sacco from Boston.
Oh, they score! Jonas Brodin! Johansson ducks underneath the check, circles, a wraparound, saves Shesterkin. He goes down, rebound, Yurov scores! Now Shesterkin again heads to the Ranger bench as Lafreniere try to get it into the Minnesota zone. The Wild clear, and they score!
He got 20 goals last year. He's got some ability, boy.
Eriksson Ek to Boldy. Boldy down the slot, back to the forehand, a shot, and he scores! Backlund set up again, looking for his second of the night. Ball to Backlund off his skate. Threw it in front, Coleman score! Eriksson Ek deflects to Boldy. Boldy cut off by Kurashev to Faber up high. Kaprizov centers. Hartman scores! The shot attempts 29-11 for Minnesota. Gustafsson heads to the bench. Kaprizov scores! Jet band on it. 2-on-1 shorthanded from the flame zone. Coleman up ice has Backlund. Coleman carries in to Backlund. Coleman scores! What a finish! Coleman up ice. That one knuckled backward, scores!
It's going good. It's going good. And for Coleman, it's been going great in this game. But he pulls up, gets some time and space, and yeah, that goes. Lafreniere goes to
Quarterback in this second unit, slides it top of the circle. Zegras down low. Kate in front, kicked out by Sheloff. Score! Bobby Brink
spins out of the corner with it. For Spurgeon, a shot. Save Hellebuck, rebound. It's waved off. The puck's still loose. Now the net's loose. They've announced that it's a good goal. You see there the puck underneath Hellebuck's pad, but never frozen. And Pionk lost it. Rossi looking. Back to Faber, and he sent it over the top of the goal. They score! Kaprizov at center ice. Rossi to Johansson. Johansson centers. Kaprizov scores! Tarasenko chips it in. Rodin, 5 blocks. Besser to Pettersson. His shot goes wide. And Hartman hammers one the length of the ice and scores!
This puck deep in Montreal ice. Canadians able to play it up the wall. And York is there across to Travis Santa. Then the deflection, they score! Bobby Brink, the redirection. And he'll deal it off again for Zegras. Zegras, tremendous start to his Flyers career. Takes the shot, save, rebound, they score! Brink!
Into the middle, Kaprizov. Spurgeon. Kaprizov. Down the slot, a shot. He scores!
We're aware of that, and let's not do what we did for Michael Bassman.
Wigger to the line, and Greaves a little contact there. Backlund, and Coleman scores!
Middleton on the attack. Flipped it ahead. Eriksson Ek back to Kaprizov. Anderson down, they score! Marcus Johansson sends it back to Kaprizov. Kaprizov waits, feeds Faber. He scores! Lost control of it, but then got it back. Spurgeon back to Kaprizov. Down low, Boldy scores!
They've had good looks with that shot coming from up high, just missing the Rich's blocker side.
Yurov comes up with a loose puck and scores! Boldy battling in the corner. Johansson back to Boldy. The wraparound. Pad stop made by Riddick. Faber scores! A turnover by Pulock. Kaprizov back to Zuccarello to Kaprizov. He scores! Johansson centers. Boldy in. He scores! Wild come up with a puck. Eriksson Ek sidesteps a check. He has Kaprizov ahead of the play. And Kaprizov scores!
Here is Zuccarello turning away from Desharnais. Zuccarello serving. See, Boldy, score!
Nearly turned over at the end of the shift by Zeri. Now it is turned over. Coleman alone. Shoots, scores!
Faber battling. Kaprizov had his clearing attempt, hit a teammate. Boldy picks it up. Boldy to center. Fires at the empty net. He scores! Caught an edge along the boards. Awkward fall for Eriksson Ek, but the Wild maintain the puck. Pops free to Zuccarello. Eriksson Ek scores! Yurov pushes ahead to Foligno. Borzak tried for the hit on Lemoose, but paid the price. Trangian from close range. They score! Back to Boldy, a shot. Eriksson Ek's tip went wide. Zuccarello on it. To Boldy. Back to Zuccarello. Across Kaprizov. He scores!
Kaprizov fights through the stick check. Zuccarello overlapping with Kaprizov. A centering pass. Zuccarello scores!
But that is a huge credit to Yurov, and they know he's very good.
Aho turned it over. Looking to connect with Svechnikov. Here's Matt Boldy with a step. He scores! Kalrich, he gets to get in the face-off circle again, and they score! Shabanov off the draw. He turned on the afterburners there, but the stick of Seider got there, and then a steal by Cizikas. Hands off for Shabanov. He goes right on through and scores!
Yeah, Dewar doing more of that elevated role for Pittsburgh, playing on the first line with Crosby.
Faber in the slot, a shot, save, rebound, Boldy scores! 2 in the power play is Zuccarello. Into the slot, Eriksson Ek. Bouillon moves to the middle, they score!
It's going to be a star. Zeev Bouillon just walked down the middle and hit the shaft of his stick out front.
When Pittsburgh's good, that's what they do.
Yurov centers and Zuccarello denied by Sheelovs. Middleton fires, he scores!
This game would go for the Penguins. Like, walk me through, like, even for you, just being injured right now and having...
Shea sends it around, Kaprizov just off the bench, and they score! Kaprizov to Boldy out front.
Terry intercepts another pass. Turns with it, and his pass to Brink. Cutting on him, Brink the shot, he scores! A seed from Brink!
Well, good give and go from Foligno and Middleton there on the breakout. Just those two navigating 200 feet.
Throws it around behind. Connor was there, intercepted by Faber. 2-on-1 for Minnesota. Johansson drops to the trailing Faber, a shot. He scores! Zuccarello jumped around Kepke. Kaprizov keeps it alive. Zuccarello to Middleton. Back down low. Kaprizov. He scores!
This is the Canucks' turn, and Backlund will break this up on a steal from Besser. Backlund shorthanded. Tacoma scores!
His 8th goal of the year. Here's Hughes in. Stopped by Wolf. He scores on his own rebound.
I opted for the nap. Faber to the net, blocks, and score! Down the boards. Here's Trenyon. Nico Sturm in front of the net. Tip, score! Nico Sturm! You mentioned going into the telecast about Connor Bedard improving his defensive play. Here's Faber now. He's got room. Deflected in front by Boldy. Just went wide. Boldy scores! 4 forwards on this 4-on-3 power play. Kaprizov score! It's an overtime winner for Kirill the Thrill.
They've had 3 straight shutouts, and in not one of them has the same guy gotten the next start. And here the Wild break the streak. Trenyon across for Hartman. Kelly sprawls. Hartman the wraparound. They score! Middleton able to knock it out of the air to keep the zone alive. Yurov with it. Down low, Zuccarello. Tried to center. They score! Tuck. Hounded by Boldy. Boldy takes it away. Cuts to the slot. He scores! Brodin scores! Right off the draw.
A couple of quick goals for the Flyers. Let's see how the Sabres respond to the quick goals that they've had to endure.
Another opportunity. Score! It is now 3-1. Bobby. Bouillon to Bogosian. Wild trying to take advantage. Calgary has a man who can't move. Bogosian shot, and they score! Zuccarello has Boldy with him in the slot. Zuccarello to Boldy. He scores! And Minnesota's on the board first.
Hines has been looking for an identity type of shift.
Boldy comes out. Eriksson Ek scores! Play goes on with 80 seconds left. Kaprizov, a backhander all the way down the ice, and he scores!
Against Eriksson Ek, because Rantanen's such a big body, Ek might be one of the only guys that can combat that.
Boldy in a shot. Eriksson Ek scores!
As a dude, it's an acronym for Dad of Only Daughters. I find that to be the cutest thing.
Bogosian scores! Heiskanen a drive. It was blocked in front. Kaprizov has Boldy with him. And Boldy in for the empty net goal. Minnesota leads by 2. For the Senators. Sturm out to Spurgeon. His shot deflected, and they score! Tyler Pitlick. Johansson out for Urov, but it hit a skate on the way, so it was off target. Now Johansson centers. They score! Ryan Hartman. And they score! Eriksson from a...
No arms, and obviously people frustrated about that on the ice. Here is Zegras dropping it off. Brink cuts, waits, fires, and scores!
There's 3 goals against allowed on the penalty kill since November 18th. Here's a short-handed break from center for Blake Coleman. In alone, shoots, scores!
Johansson's been one of the hottest scorers for Minnesota lately. 5 points in the last 3 games. Spurgeon moves in a shot. He scores!
You want to grind you down in the first 40 minutes and let the skill take over in the third period.
Boldy's shot goes wide. Rebound. Kaprizov scores! Faber hits the Boston line. Faber drives in, centers, and they score!
You lose a lot of minutes. And the guys you mentioned, those are guys that are playing.
Hughes in, he scores! Olympic team coming up in February. And they score! Boldy's shot beats Swayman. Delayed call against the Bruins as Hartman circles up high. Kaprizov fires, scores!
Into the final minute of this second period. Tippett just dumps the puck in as the Flyers will make another change. Foul at the puck. Stova, Michkov in front, they score! Bobby Brink!
Back to Hughes. Boldy a drive that went wide. Tarasenko. Up high Hughes, a long shot, knocked down in front, rebound! They score! That shot goes wide, and Tarasenko scoops it up for Minnesota. Tarasenko drags to the backhand, centers, Urov scores! Kierstad plays it ahead. Boldy hustling, he has Foligno driving the net. Boldy cuts to the middle, a shot, he scores!
It is the right call, but, you know, just the sentimental part of me, I'm hoping Cooley gets to start because it'd be kind of cool.
Hard one-timer, and that is in! A bar-down beauty.
Back to Faber. He goes cross ice for Spurgeon. Now back to Faber. Faber down low. Kaprizov centers, and Hartman scores!
That's twice tonight where you're off showing. He's just...
Eriksson out front. Pad save. Rebound. They score! Marchenko throws it toward the net. Intercepted by Eriksson. Plays ahead to Boldy. He goes across to Kaprizov, who scores!
Been playing better hockey. Steven Stamkos on the chart there. He's been scoring some goals.
Boldy with the empty net. Drives by Marchenko and scores. Side by Hughes. Poked away, and it's a breakaway for Boldy. Boldy in to the backhand. He scores! Back up high, it's Hughes. Now Zuccarello. Back to Hughes. Boldy fires, scores! He goes cross ice for Zuccarello. To Hartman. Hartman drops to Middleton. Back to Hartman. He scores! The end wall. Johansson fires at the empty net. Bouchard knocked it down. Tarasenko in. He hands it off to Sturm for the clincher. Looking for Hartman. Hughes steps up. Put it out front, and Hartman's deflection goes to the corner. Brodin down the slot, a shot. That's off the post. Rebound, they score! Ryan Hartman on the rebound.
But here's Hughes accelerating, and he heads to the net. Pirouettes along the half wall. The trailer is Faber. Score! D to D. And now Kaprizov works the blue line. Hughes drops it. Kaprizov shoots it into traffic in front. Save Soros, the rebound. Score!
Now Hughes out of the corner. It deflects to Spurgeon. They score! To Kaprizov, he works past to Melo. Kaprizov scores!
That's 3 times Walton splashed that lather right in his face.
Kaprizov to Hughes to Boldy. He scores! What a win for the Wild!
Change it up quickly. Michael Backlund has Klapka with him. Backlund into the trailer. Coleman back to Backlund. Coleman scores! Duclair for Pajot with Shabanov. A little back and forth. Pajot shot, scores! It got hung up on the arm of Graves. It may have hit Shabanov driving to the goal.
Kaiser bumps it back. Lafferty feeds it to Doc, and the slab with the shot. Foligno scores! Welcome back, Nick Foligno, and the Hawks are on the board.
Switching from forehand to backhand was handling a backward to Coleman. Shoots and scores!
From his belly, plays it ahead to Johansson, and the Wild have a 2-on-1. Eriksson Ek with Boldy. Eriksson Ek centers. Boldy scores! His shot goes right through the crease. Brodin able to hold. Johansson flips it down low. Spurgeon a shot. He scores! Kaprizov tried to center. Hanifin got a skate on him. Faber works to the middle. A shot. He scores! Still with the puck into the Vegas zone. Hanifin trying to battle with Johansson. Johansson comes away with the puck. To Boldy out front. Eriksson Ek scores!
It's a split decision by the linesman. They make the call right at that moment.
2-on-1 the other way for the Flyers. They move in. Michkov waits. He sends it in front, and they score! Break goes to that. Michkov hits him, and Utah.
Ennis throws it to Middleton. Across for Bogosian. Down low to Foligno. A shot. He scores! First time the teams met, the Wild had 7 power play chances to 2 for Anaheim. Hughes a shot. Save goes Stahl. Rebound loose. They score! Kaprizov out to Hughes. Winds. Fires. They score! Off the skate of Urov, and Minnesota has a 2-goal lead. To sweep it across, he had Johansson all alone in the slot. Hughes skates the stick back to Trennian. He scores! Into Duck territory. A backhander out to the point. Hughes fires. Scores! Got it through to Brodin. Spurgeon then wiped out behind the play. Sturm moves in for Minnesota. He scores!
Stans will only have 2 Olympians. McDavid and Draisaitl. Flyers steal the puck. Break from the right wing now into the middle. York a shot. They score! It changed direction on the way in. And the Flyers have opened up a 3-0.
Flames pick it off. Backward to Coleman. Coronado went down. Coleman scores!
Eriksson Ek moves in. He scores! Eriksson Ek! And now Kaprizov carries out to center ice. Wild have numbers at the Kings line. Kaprizov down low. Urov to Faber, who scores! Turns along the boards, waits for support. Now goes to Faber. Faber shot deflected out front. They score! Works against Doughty. Out to Brodin. Spurgeon. He scores! Jared Spurgeon. Urov escapes a check. Drops to Faber. Faber shot deflected by Hartman, but just wide. Out front, Hartman scores! Everywhere else he's been, it's been 18.
Well, his ability, too. He's one of those guys.
Hartman grabs a loose puck and scores! On his backhand, Dunn has his stick caught up under the arm of Boldy. Faber with it. Looks, waits, fires, scores! For Hughes. Back to Zuccarello. Now to Hughes. Across. Boldy and drive. He scores! Hughes. Plays it down low. Centering pass. Kaprizov scores! Hughes bumped by Mercer. Still with the puck. Turns it back. Johansson waits. Gives to Faber a shot. They score! Out to the point, Hinostroza. Brodin. Back to Hinostroza. Brodin a drive, they score! Wild maintain the zone, Yurov scores!
Foligno trying to get the puck, does. Feeds it over, Colton Dock. Bit of room on the left side, plays it back, there's a shot, score! Foligno, the captain, goes top corner.
Still got plenty of time. This is a very explosive offense. Net is empty though. Here comes Michael McCarron. He's going to get to the loose puck. McCarron to the empty net. He scores!
Hughes got it through in the slot. Jones goes back against the grain. Out front, Foligno, and they score! Marcus Foligno! Hartman carries in for the Wild. Back for Hughes. Hughes reverses course, trying to lose Doan down the wall. They score!
Second and third goal deflections, and the Wild deflected a number of pucks, and none of them went in. Yes.
That was a brave move. Kirkland now to Lombard. 2-on-1. Lombard to Kirkland. Scores!
It just feels different around the town, but when you walk into the buildings, it's amazing. Here's Hartman out front, and he scores! What? Yurov wins the draw against Lawton. Faber a shot. They score! Tipped by Foligno! Keeps it alive for Minnesota. Foligno to Yurov. Now to Faber. Faber shot. He scores! Matthews with the latest Toronto goal. He has 12 goals in the last 12. Tarasenko to Foligno for the hat trick. His first in the NHL. Kaprizov takes a bump, feeds Faber. Faber waits, then fires. They score!
Dishes. Drysdale right back to him. And now Zegras takes the shot. They score! The rebound rammed home by Bobby Brink.
Hartman to Hughes. Beautiful backhand pass. Zuccarello. Shot. Score! Dangerous 3-on-3 combo for Minnesota. Kaprizov. Score!
Brink gets it back. Chops at it. They scrum for it. They score! Cates and Brink kept fighting for the puck. Brink in tight.
Plays it back to the point for Zuccarello. Now Boldy. Down low, Kaprizov scores! In the middle, Kaprizov. Now back to Hughes to Zuccarello. Kaprizov down the slot. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound, they score!
Right here.
Interception by Boldy. He's got a short-handed breakaway. Matt Boldy for the lead. He scores!
You believe it, and you do. You stick with it. He stuck with it. Now it's starting to pay off.
Here's a chance for Trenyon moving in. A shot. He scores! Boldy holds. Drops it back to Hughes. Hughes spins to the backhand. Turns. Throws one on goal. They score! Boldy gains the line. Ballstead wanders off. Spurgeon moves in. Fires. It's loose. Eriksson a shot. Rebound. They score!
His first touch. He'll play with Adam Wilsby tonight. Marchessault working. Spins around for the wraparound try. Rebound, score! Dogged pursuit of the puck.
On Markstrom, and I'm not sure Marchessault gets this one or McCarron comes in and taps.
Hunt back to the line. Yurov another shot that's blocked. Hunt goes across to Tarasenko. Centers. Yurov scores!
You got the attention of the Wild skill, and they get a bunch of looks, but miss the net on the best of them.
Kaprizov to Boldy. He scores! And again, we can also go back to that conversation we had about the highly skilled players. Here's Kaprizov. He scores! Elfman salt away a win against the Flames. Here's Eriksson in alone against Jari. He scores! Well, Minnesota gets a third power play chance of the period, and they score! Hughes settles it down there for Minnesota. 7.5 to go in the second. Hughes moves in. Shot deflects to the corner. He centers and scores! And Astroza in pursuit. And the Wild add to the lead. We'll play it back out to neutral ice. Faber works by Bouchard, and he scores! Plays it off the boards, picked up by Johansson, out to Eriksson Ek. Eriksson Ek moves in, a shot, he scores! Kapanen will play for Finland, Slavkovsky for Slovakia, and Tessier will play for France. Hughes centers, Kaprizov scores! He gives to Hughes. Johansson splits the defense, Faber's in, he scores! Back to Hughes. Kaprizov fires, he scores!
Works the defense in, back to Bunting, score! Nashville shuffles the deck, and a shot from Bunting to his new line mate, Michael McCarron, who
on the wrong side here.
He's had a lot of success against Minnesota lately. Here's Matt Boldy in for the Wild. He scores!
Below the goal line before he shoots.
Wild onto the power play. Hughes, a tip by Boldy. A save by Saros, rebound, he scores! Boldy carries in. Fires on goal, saved by Saros, rebound, Boldy scores! It's the hat trick for Boldy. Hughes had Yoshi tied up, and Trenyon grabs it for Minnesota.
Right, turnovers at the Blues galore right now.
Tarasenko trying to put his head down, they score! Wild change, Boldy's on, Boldy to Spurgeon, he scores!
Do something about it here with, this is all you got for the next couple weeks. Here's McCarron trying to get in tight, score!
Boldy works free down the slot, a shot, save Blackwood, rebound, they score! Boldy for Hughes. Boldy into the slot, goes down low, a centering pass, they score! Makar able to knock it out of the air, and the Avs regroup at center. Jared Bednar rolls the dice right here, down by 2, a turnover, Boldy at the empty net, he scored! Avs will be offside, they have to tag up. Faber sends it ahead for Boldy. Boldy puts on the brakes, fires at the empty net and scores. They say good at the line. Boldy picks up the carom, centers, Kaprizov scores! What a feed from Boldy to Kaprizov.
Down the stretch.
The Wild do have a day off tomorrow, but it's an early game. Is here Boldy with a redirect, and he scores!
That's like the olden days of Patty Waugh and Marty Brodeur, yeah, played 72 a game a season. Here's Jeff, they score! Nick Foligno gets his 200 and...
Eriksson Ek scoops it up, and the Wild have numbers coming the other way. 3-on-1. Hughes moves in to Boldy. Kaprizov scores!
Kept alive by the Wild. Here's Boldy. Down low behind the net. Johansson back out. Score! Now here's Trennan into the Tampa Bay zone. Held up by Littleberg. Puck loose. He scores! 3 posts tonight. Here's Kaprizov once again. Quinn Hughes goes to the net and scores! Now the outward pass. Kaprizov looking for the team record. He scores!
Yurov there for Minnesota. To Trenyon in behind. Into the slot. Yurov a one-timer. Bogosian a drive. He scores! And the Wild lead it 2-0 midway through the second period. Faber a shot. He scores!
Relieves some pressure thanks to Frost, who skips it on to Bussy. And he'll swat that one up. Then Farabee testing Bussy, and Coleman scores.
Colton in the box. Second power play for Minnesota. They trail by 1. Eriksson Ek wins the draw to Hughes. Now Kaprizov. Score! It deflects in. Puck past Taves. Short-handed opportunity. Score! Sturm!
Flames have the 10th best PK on the road. The numbers. Anyway, here's Backlund short-handed to Coleman. Shoot, scores!
He'll try to bump Uyghur off the play there.
Centers it through. That shot just missed the mark. Kaprizov, shot, score!
Speaking of buildings maybe hosting their first ever playoff games, we can get one in Detroit finally.
2-on-1 for the Wild. Bobby, shot, score!
So let's see if the Mammoth can do that.
Turned over, Tarasenko got it across, shot, and score! Welcome home, Bobby Brink! And with some speed is Yurov across the line. Has Brink with him, and Yurov scores! What a move! Kaprizov out of the box, finds Foligno, it's behind the goalie, and it's in! Hartman tucks it home, and Vejmelka cracks his stick in anger.
Hughes to Zuccarello. And the Wild cleanly gain the zone. Zuccarello's pass deflected, picked up by Boldy. He scores! Unfortunately. Faber got it to Kaprizov. Free in the slot, he scores!
He's played some of his best hockey as a Ranger early in his career. We saw a play there, just out-muscle Eriksson Ek. Boldy scores! Tonight he's putting on a reason why he finishes in, top statistically year in and year out for goaltenders when he's healthy.
Centering pass, Yurov scores!
The Flames have been getting some good looks here the last few shifts.
Kuznetsov, headman pass to Coleman, in behind the D, shoots, scores! What a goal, Blake Coleman!
How he would lead effectively when there's already a leadership group in place. And he's not the only one. Hartman out front, he scores! What a feed from behind the net!
2-0 Chicago. Mikheyev and Bedard, 1 goal in each period. Sturm back on the ice. Shot!
He goes across to Hughes. Jamie Benn took a hit. Brink's in alone. Brink to the backhand. He scores!
Unsportsmanlike conduct. There's the call on Hagel. Here's Faber straight away. Score!
Yeah, lots of bodies around these days. Olofsson turns with a shot. Off the post and he scores! First as a flame for Ole Mata ties the game.
Yeah, you're not out in the beer league here. The other guys can skate.
That's right. When you make the fastest players in the world look a little slow. That shot on net. Score! Foligno! As here's Kaprizov. Looks to center. Floats it towards the crease. A stick lift. Take back by Kulikov. Taken back by Hartman. Scores! Great hands. Moves by Forsling. Held by Faber. With room. Wrist shot. The rebound. Score! Eriksson Ek with 3.8 seconds to go.
Backlund all the way down. Mata, bench changing. Hits the man right off it. Farabee in front. Coleman off the post and then he scores.
So he got everybody on board. It took a little while to do it, but now they're so comfortable playing the style that he wanted, and they're really effective at it.
And they score! Yes. Back to Zuccarello. Kaprizov for Zuccarello. It deflects. Hughes picks it up off the wall. Centers. Hartman out front. They score!
Gustevich pulls up around Rossi. Now to Strome. His shot. Blocker stop. Tolopilo and scoots in. And Calgary's got another. Holy Mata.
His shot blocked in front. Intercepted by Joseph. Clears to the line for the Wild hold. Boldy moves in. A shot. He scores! This is a period where the Canucks have been victimized all year. They're minus 45 in the second. Boldy's in alone. He scores! Hartman knocks it off the end boards. Pettersson put it right on the stick of Kaprizov. Zuccarello. Kaprizov. He scores! What a play! Fakes the shot. Gives to Hughes. Hughes turns out of the corner with the puck. Now to Zuccarello. His long shot. They score! Tipped by Hartman. And Minnesota. Boldy has it. Hands it to Kaprizov. Hartman gets loose for a shot. And he scores!
Back the other direction. Coleman set up. Shoots. Scores! Blake Coleman on a beauty setup from Backlund. Together in a hockey game this year. Coleman trying to test hard, carries in, shoots, scores off the post. What a shot, Blake Coleman.
Cross to Stützle, but Tarasenko picks it up for the Wild. Nifty feed to Brodin. Brodin moves in, a shot. Saved by Ullmark, rebound, they score! Spence escaped the check, but now Zuccarello picks it up with Hartman driving the net. Zuccarello to Hartman, he scores! Zuccarello on the loose puck, tried to cut to the slot. His centering pass broken up by Sanderson. Hartman's loose, fires and scores!
Picking up speed as he goes. He'll lift it in deep. Hunts it after it. Shabunov at his disposal. He found him and he scores! Max Shab.
And this whole thing is going to come down to what they can do over the last 6 games of the year.
And maybe that was a wake-up call for the Red Wings.
Here's a turnover, and it's Boldy. He has Johansson. He'll shoot it. He scores! Zuccarello to the interior. Puck rolled on him, and it rolled right to Hartman. He'll look off a pass. Thrown, scores! Kirill Kaprizov got a last-second deflection.
They got to find a way to get a goal to get the fans back in the game.
Oh, look out here. It's Kaprizov off the bench. Scores! Loads it up. Can't shoot with Comfer in his hip pocket. Boldy, cross ice. Kaprizov scores! The hat-trick goal.
But he's been a much more disciplined agitator. Here comes Boldy. Across to Eriksson Ek, a shot, saved to Court. Rebound is waved off. Boldy knocked it. They look sharp, they look fast. Can the Wild answer here in the second? A centering pass. Foligno scores!
Done, exhausted. Late in the game, it's been a long shift.
Eriksson Ek with a takeaway. He scores!
Called up on his 21st birthday, and that was it.
Never look back.
Never look back.
Happy birthday.
On the move, Hughes. Score! Quinn Hughes! Vintage! In the bumper, it's Hartman. And that deflection over the top of the net. Essa Lindell can't clear. Backdoor! Score! Boldy to Kirill Kaprizov! And that is the Dallas Stars, Zuccarello. Seam pass, shot towards the net. Rebound, score! Kaprizov! He's got a pair, both on the power play. Through traffic, Quinn Hughes. Spurgeon, shot pass, score!
Trenyon tried to get one through to Brink. McCarron sends it back to Brodin. Brodin shot deflected. McCarron scores! Trenyon to McCarron. Drives out front. Hunt denied. Trenyon hit the post. And then they score! Johansson to Tarasenko out front. Yurov. He scores! Thomas tried to play it back to the line. It's intercepted. 2-on-1 for the Wild, shorthanded. Nick Foligno with McCarron. McCarron fires. He scores! Discipline got away from the Wild when they faced Dallas a few years ago. And they score! Dostal got a piece of it. Look at the brain back on track here before the playoffs start. Haight scores! Hunter Haight!
Blackwood, Michael Backlund will take it off the faceoff win and a tip in front. What a beauty for his 20th of the season. Blake Coleman.
Just so many areas of this game. Penalty kill, another big one.
Kaprizov back to Hughes, across to Zuccarello. Boldy, one touch, Eriksson Ek, he scored! Faber comes ahead.
And they were good in both categories, goals for and against.
And they score! But Hughes takes it back, gets it to Zuccarello. He goes cross ice, Kaprizov, back for Hughes, across to Faber, a shot, they score! Now a battle along the boards. Boldy tried to center. Bouncing puck. They score! Boldy fires and a blocker saved by Ottinger.
Boy, wow, they've been going upstairs on Ottinger.
And they score! Nick Foligno jumps out of the penalty box. 6-on-5 for Dallas. Rantanen moves in. Lost it to Boldy at the empty net. He scores! Minnesota outscored 3-1. Faber escapes Robertson, cuts to the slot, he scores!
Highlight reel save.
Faber loose in the slot, he scores!
juicy rebound there off Ottinger.
Boldy fights past Mars. Eriksson Ek scores!
He just ran a pick.
Wilder back at full strength. McCarron hits the Dallas line. He scores! Rebound, Hartman ridden into the boards. Kaprizov got it through to Faber. Faber shot deflected. They score! Faber plays cross ice. Hughes back to Faber. He leaves it to Sturm. Sturm fires, saved by Ottinger. Marcus Foligno score! Eriksson Ek involved in the fight. Kaprizov out to Spurgeon. Half a minute to go. A shot! They score! Kaprizov gives to Boldy. Works it up high for Hughes. Boldy in front. He scores! Power play late in game 3 to push it into overtime before they won in double overtime. Minnesota got the equalizer in game 4. And they score! McCarron!
And again, you think about the opportunity to ice it. If you're fresh and your core is fresh, you don't get the red, feel free. But
Kaprizov fights off a Heiskanen check and scores into the empty net. Hughes connects with Foligno. Back to Hughes. Hughes moves in, a shot. He scores! Back to the line, Faber. Across for Hughes. Hughes fires. They score! Ben unable to hold the line. Boldy to the empty net. He scores! Ritzkovian on it for Dallas. Inside 20 to go. Wild clear. They score! And it's over.
The Wild, who desperately needed it after surrendering 3 goals to start this game. Quinn Hughes trying to create, and he found Hartman. He scores!
And this line for Minnesota, they want to get their forecheck going. Looks like they're doing it right here.
Quinn Hughes on the cutback. Hughes got a little space, and he scores! Dallas had a good power play all year. If we could do what they do, we would be doing it all year. Oh, look out here. This is a shorthanded break, and it's Marcus Foligno in all alone, and he scores!
A breakaway off the goal, and the answer by Minnesota. Kaprizov got loose, a defensive breakdown for Colorado.
In this situation.
And here's one of them, Faber, who led the rush into the Colorado zone. Feeds Kaprizov, feeds and scores! Kaprizov could not tee it up. Wedgwood without a stick. Spinning with it is Hughes. Hughes shoots, he scores! Here's Zuccarello with a shot. Score! Deflection, it hit Taves initially. And the Minnesota Wild are now 2 for 2 on the power play. They lead the Avalanche 3-0. Ryan Hartman.
And when you do that, and here's a penalty coming up here. It looks like O'Connor's going to go. Power play coming for the Wild.
Volstead off for the extra attacker. Saves it by blocked when they score! 10 seconds. Shot by Nature's blocked. Here's Kadri shoots. That does not get through. Sent down into the empty net.
Played back to a dancing Faber. Faber to Tarasenko in the corner. Back to Faber. One-time drive. Score! Hughes keeps it onside. Backhanded down low. Score! Sturm! Oh, what a setup by Quinn Hughes!
Buckets cleared out by Kaprizov. Carried across by Sturm. Sturm towards the net. And the redirect. They score! It's fully.
8th shift in the game so far for Boldy. That looked like it was offside.
And now Sturm drives it across. 3-0.